All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at Bigger Live Stream. And as you can see, we've already got started a little bit. Sir Jose and David both have been here before. I think Jose might have had a few more matches in than what David has, but I'm still pretty good shots. On the first game, this is a race to 12. There will be two sets tonight. Each one of them are putting in 300 per man per set. So in total, I think all of them will be about 1,200 bucks. So anything too huge, but enough to make sure that you want to win. Haven't been online in a little while, so we apologize for that. But like everybody else, wanted to enjoy the holidays a little bit. And so the way they're doing this one, so it's almost a hybrid. So they are playing 9 ball, but they're doing it with a lot of 10 ball rules. So this is called shot. It's not called safe. So if they make any other ball on the table while trying to make their own called shot and do not make the called shot, it's going to be the opponent's option. So again, it's kind of a variation. So we typically think of that a little bit more of like our 10 ball rules, but break's going to be a little bit more important on that one. I think David's doing all right on this first game here. Goes ahead and takes that first game out. They are playing even up, race to 12. Check all these things real quick. Oh, good, they're working. Probably the only other thing that we didn't necessarily mention are a couple of things. They do have they are playing the 3 foul rule. That 8 ball slid back on him a touch there. If you've seen that one. Definitely back a little bit. It's so far back in the pile there, I don't believe he's able to see it. Ball went a little bit forward. So it's going to leave him a longer shot on the 1 ball, but he does have a shot on it. Rack out of the way. It's always a good idea. Carlos Martinez late. Hey, we were only like a couple minutes late this time, so this is way on time. And this one we can actually blame on me, not the players, because I was trying to change a couple of things up at the last minute. It didn't work out too well. I'll take full responsibility. David doing a good job there of sneaking as much as he could behind that 2 ball. A little further over, Jose was going to be able to do the same thing. So I think David's got an open shot now. 2 ball's not difficult at all to be able to get onto. A couple of different pockets to be able to put that, so he can kind of play that like he wants to. And a little undercut on that one. Jose's got good opportunity coming back. Then threw him one trip up and down the table. Just want to get too straight on that. He left a little bit of angle, so too bad there. Needs to leave a little angle as well on this one so that he can get back down table. He has. She's going to have to force that one a little bit. Shouldn't have to work too hard. Just doesn't want to come straight at it. Good job about pulling that one back. Not too bad of a cut here, but it is still only the second game, so we'll see how warmed up they are. Uh-oh. A little bit of a cut for David on this one. He may elect to go ahead and bank this one. David's a pretty good one pocket player, so he's not scared of a bank shot. And that one comes up a little short. That's a big bounce on it. It leaves Jose a couple of options. He may elect to go ahead and try to cut this one. Way if he misses, separate those two back out and puts David in about the position that, or maybe even worse than what he's in right now. Ooh, misses that one and scratches just to make sure that he hands over that second game to David. 2-0. David off to a good start here, but race to 12 and 2 sets. And that can take a little bit of time, so long way to go in these races. Break on rack number 3. You can get that one behind the line a little bit, and that's much better control on that one. Barely catches that to the edge, and at least leaves it in the middle. Good shot there from David, and still has a shot on the 1. Now the 2 is going to present a little bit more trouble because the direction it's going to be coming back towards it. I think he's using a lot of inside to see if he can force it to come over, and fortunately gives up the shot in the process, but it's really on the lucky side, so I expect that Jose's probably going to come out with a pitch and wedge on this one, see if he can't get over that 3 ball. Got a little bit of distance before the 3, so I'd expect him to be able to get over this without too much trouble. Makes a solid hit on it. If he gets any kind of reward for the hit, and it looks like he may. Oh, leaves it right by the side pocket. Cool guys are still looking out for David a bit up here. Put that back, and it sure looks like that 2 ball will go into that corner. Has to make sure that he doesn't get behind that ball. Ooh, that's out of focus. Push that up.
At first it looked like it wasn't going.
Good attempt by David there. All right, Jose doing a good job over here taking care of those couple. Left himself pretty good on the 8 ball. I have to try to get on the high side of that 9 ball over there. Cuts that one in with no problem at all. Score's going up to 2-1. David's still in the lead. Jose's break. Haven't marked the score yet, but that marked up here in a moment. Or less than a moment. See a few familiar faces jump in here. Mr. Muhammad, it's nice for you to join us. And Sal, hope you're feeling better. And Mr. Chris White. How are y'all doing this evening? It looks like you might have left a little bit of opening there for David to be able to shoot that back up. And when we look at it here, David doesn't have too much work to do. He just needs to make sure he pockets the ball. It should kick back out and leave him plenty of room. Good job there. 3 ball already off the table. The pink 4 ball that we see is going to be our next one. Let's try to go down a little bit. Doesn't get as far as he wanted to. I'm sure he wanted to get slightly on the other side of it, but he's left it pretty straight from that side. So with that 5 ball being right here against this rail, whole lot of work to be done. Pretty good. Again, wanting to be a little bit on the other side of it or a little closer to straight. He does want to be able to get that 7 ball. Barely misses it, and that 6 ball definitely has an open lane to make it down here to this bottom left pocket. Muhammad's being nice as usual. Good shot there by Jose. This is really about the only tricky one that he's got. See if he goes ahead and plays that 2 rails to come back straight back across. Give that one a little bit more punch, but he's handled that one great. Felt pretty open. Doesn't look like he's jacked up over that 9 ball. Go ahead and draw that back to the other side. Nice looking shot there as well. Back to a tie ball game. 2 for everyone. Chris White, you're multitasking. This is not going to turn out well at all. as they kind of skimming off that right side a little bit. Loses control of the cue ball. It does stay in the middle of the table, which is good, but he does get behind, excuse me, behind that 6 ball. Got some pocket of balls. We got a dry break so far on this one. It's probably going to kick a couple of rails if he's going to go that direction. Pretty far stretched. Got to pull the jump cue out of. I goes ahead and plays a push shot. Sorry, forgot about that option. But I don't play. I forget too much stuff. Definitely wanted to catch a little bit more of that ball. Like he may have left an open shot. A little bit thin. And that 2 ball's sitting pretty open, so you can go back down table pretty good distance and still be okay. Gets a good bump off of that one. The trouble looks like he's got here is if he wanted to follow that forward to come back across, 5 looks like it's a bit in the way. May elect just to go ahead and kind of stop it where it's sitting, play that little bit of a cut on the 3 ball. Red one's sitting back over on the right hand side. Bounces it out a little bit further than he wanted to. Like Jose's kind of bend that one around. Didn't come around quite as much as he wanted. Gives David a open cut on cue ball on the bottom right hand corner. Successfully pocketing the ball, but gets in a little bit of trouble. 6 ball stays in the way of that 3. David bringing out his own jump cue on this one and gets a good hit on the 6. Not the lowest ball on the table, though. Ooh. Has to be easy on it. Sets it right up in the jaws of the pocket. Speed doesn't go in. A little 4 ball shot for David. Just wants to stay out of the way of that 6 ball. Good speed on that one. Gets a little lucky, but I think Jose is going to have a decent chance of pocketing this ball. Gonna go 1 rail. Good shot there. Sticks himself behind a whole lot of trouble. Looks like too difficult here. A little 6 ball in its bottom left corner. Just let it kind of drift back up on the other side of the 8 ball. Should stay right in line with where he wants to be. Looking shot there. shot across this top rail. Want to get too close, leave himself in kind of a 50-50 shot. See if he shoots that one in the side pocket. Let that cue ball go ahead and drift on down to the end of the table and back up for the 9. A little hard to drift. That's all right. I'm pretty good on that 9 ball. Mr. Izzy Molina. If they promise to play like that against me, I'll play them both. And I don't have to walk in the other room. I'm pretty sure both of them will say bet. I can go ask them that. He takes the lead after winning his last 3 games, up 3-2. A little bit of draw on that cue ball. I think everything stayed out in the open. Can't tell for sure, but it sure looks like he's got a shot on that 1 ball on the side. A little bit blocked down in the bottom corner. Actually, from here, it kind of looks like both of them are open, so see which way he decides to go with it. Let's go ahead and shoot to the side. Shoots it a little bit long. Bounces back out. Does leave. David's got a shot on the 1, but getting back on that 2, coming off that bottom rail, that's going to be pretty difficult. Get him out somewhere so that he could just see the 2, gets blocked by that 5. Maybe be a time to call the 9 ball here, even though I don't think he'll get that much of the 2 ball. Like he's digging into it pretty bad. Catches the edge of it. Like he's gonna leave Jose a shot here. Back to taking care of business. But the only thing he's got left here concentrate on is getting from that 5 to the 7 ball. Go ahead and go 1 reel on that. And he looks like he's queuing up to get below the 7. That's a big bounce on that one. Doesn't want to leave it too straight. He does probably like to get it about as straight as he could on that 8 ball if he can. Beautiful shot. Oh, if it slows down a little bit, it's pretty far behind that 8 ball. If he decides to go ahead and try to play the combo, it looks like he's gonna go ahead and just play defense, leave that 8 ball trapped a little bit as it does sneak out. Leaves David right down there in the corner. David making a nice shot there, sliding by that 9 ball. David himself for the last pocket 9 ball shot. right, David tying it back up at 3-3. Rack number 7 coming up. Like David might be considering the opportunity. It sure looks like that one is off, but actually when I look out the window over here, that one's pretty straight. It's a little bit of a throw shot. He probably wants to get a little bit on the backside of that 3. Didn't quite catch enough, so now it's going to be a race to the 8 ball. The 8 and the 9 are definitely lined up. The 3 was close, but I think you needed to get a little further down on that 3 just to kind of get it to throw over in that direction. On the 3 ball there. His speed, get himself back on that 5 ball. Be too much trouble coming up now. Let's go ahead and play that 6 into the side. Could give him a easy way he can go forward or backward. He's got just enough angle to go just sort of draw it back down. Nice shot. I'm sure he would have liked to have been a little further out, so I think he might have caught a half tip lower on that ball than he wanted to. But no problems here. None right in the corner for that go ahead to 4-3 Jose.
Get it harder so it's filling it. That's why I care where I got, locked together. Well, it takes inch of it.
See, is he still trying to work on that game over here? So we'll tell him to give you a game in 8 ball, and you can take 4 balls off the table after the break. Pretty sure he'll go for it.
Okay, that's why.
Not sure where I came up with that idea.
Not always. God, everyone.
It looks like that one peaked out a little bit as he's got a cut on that 3 ball. Almost gets it down far enough. Definitely leaves himself a cut. Just got a little bit more work here. Go ahead and take it all the way around. Is it going to come up high enough? Also, still going to leave him with a little bit of a tough shot here, as that cue ball is going to want to go towards that 9. Good job of avoiding that. Good job getting back up table. Needs that to slow down a little bit. Ooh, sends it up a little bit above it. Maybe back into defense mode on this one. 9-ball shouldn't be too hard to stay behind. Does that very well. Come back to the table not only with a jump shot, but pretty close to that 9-ball. So he's going to have a little bit of work there if he does decide to use the jump cue. Not too terrible, and it's not quite over the center of the ball. Does decide to go ahead and kick at it. Makes contact with the ball, leaves Jose a good shot on the 9, and be a pretty easy run out for him. Right, 5-3. Definitely wants that to slow down. He got a whole lot more of that than he wanted to. And that speed control was on point on that one. I think he's just wanting to add a little bit of excitement to the game over here. Yeah, there's another rack over here on the other table. I probably need to go tell him that if that one's starting to fail a little bit on him, to go ahead and switch that one out. Mr. Leon Stemple, thank you for joining us, and boys, appreciate the stars on there. New year, and it's time for you to get out here. Let me know who you're ready to beat up on, and make sure that one happens. He's going to squeeze that 3-ball by the 6 up here. Run into the line of the 4-ball. Successfully gets there. Not perfectly straight, but that's okay. Half of that one to go in. I believe, we'll see. I believe he'd like to get that cue ball right back about where it is now. I think pretty naturally it should get there if it comes down far enough. Gets that one a little bit on the light side. See if he goes back to his banking roots on this one. Still coming up short like he did on the previous one, so a little bit of rusty to work out there. Good shot by Jose there as he leaves it, and some of you probably heard me talk about that one before. The place that I absolutely 100% dread any ball to land on a table. You can give me ball in hand 4 times on that, and I'm probably going to miss it because there's something about this shot or that ball placement always going to sit in my head. Leon, I like that one. Well, sneak on over here sometime. Might only be able to give Wayne 1 or 2 games myself, so I could use some practice. Wayne, I hope you're listening. If not, I'm just talking for nothing now. like that might bounce up right in front of the pocket, and it does. So David gets a little bit of a break on this one. We'll follow on this 8 ball. 8 ball should, the 9 ball shouldn't be any trouble after that. I'll stop talking before I jinx him on this shot. We do actually have another person on the road, but we're in the room over here. But he's decided he doesn't want to talk. I mean, she has decided she doesn't want to talk. Her name is Tim Miller. David at the break, see if he's gotten that control under there. Still kind of catches a little bit to the right. It kind of goes shooting off to that rail. 1 ball stays down about half court, and 2 ball ends up all the way up table after getting kicked up there. That's the one thing in 9 ball that probably as important, if not more important, than not any other rotation game that we play. It's a long shot. I can't tell. He can definitely hit part of it. I believe he might be able to get enough of that one to make it, and if so, Jose may be off and running. 2 ball. Oh, that was close. That was a really good attempt at that one, because shooting from where he was, that's a lot of distraction. David's giving himself pretty good position. He wants it to come off the rail a little. Not too bad from there. If he goes ahead and draws this one over a little bit or like that and follows it up, I actually like that shot. A lot easier to control that one. Doing that, I believe he's going to want to take that 6 ball all the way up table, which means he's going to need to draw that 5 ball back a little bit, but it looks like he's kind of on that decision a little more. He's going to need to be on one side or the other of that 6 ball and probably as close to straight as he can be. Himself a little bit of an angle, but now it's just concentrate on the shot. It's going to leave it up a little bit longer. He's put a little bit of draw on that one. It's going to be a little tough from there, but leaves Jose a little close to his work with that 6 ball. Jose just making sure he puts some separation on those two. Gets that 9 ball on the way. Great shot there. Hit by David on that one. Nice shot and a little love from the 9 ball. Gets him right on the 7. And the 8-9 both have plenty of room for that bottom left corner pocket. The way Jose's been shooting, I don't see this going to be a whole lot of trouble here. I saw that rack wiggle just a little bit there, and gotta be careful of that. I mean, these are very straight up players, so we're not gonna see those kind of issues. Oh, bobbles the 9 on that one, but a object ball or cue ball hitting a rack playing over the side. I'm sure many of us, I know I have more than a few times seen people call it as an interference. So in all honesty, even if he jumped up and said that that doesn't count because of it hitting, he does have a leg to stand on, and it's I guess it depends on the player. It's not the right thing to do as far as morals go, I guess, but we pick our own morals. Like I said, you're never going to see one of these two calling things like that, but they're definitely very straight up people. As we go 5-5. Rack number 11 coming up. High ball game. Himself into a little trouble on that one as he does pocket a ball. The cue ball stays stuck behind that 4 ball. I believe we're going to see a push shot on this one. Mr. Casey Grove, I see the champs joined us over here. And Muhammad, yes, I believe he does. He shoots at quite a few different places. I believe Sticks is one of them, and typically over from a little closer to Panoa's side. And he's been out here, I want to say this is his, I want to say 3rd time. Could have been more than that. I believe he's played Samir, Wayne one time. He's played quite a few people. Don Riley. He's got a little bit of a hit list. And if I remember correctly, I believe he's also around 2 and 3. I know he lost one of those to Don Riley, but he's a pretty decent shot. That's definitely not somebody to be taken too lightly. I say pretty decent, but you see, I'm not throwing out the challenge flag to him, so. And we don't see any trouble on this one as well. Got way to get to the 4 to 5, 7. Only the eight ball looks like it potentially could pose a problem, but he's been taking care of quite a few of those. This match is going on. See, Troy's joined the stream. How's it going today? Slow down a little bit and still leaves himself good. I believe he's gonna like the results of this one. Gives him that little bit of room just to make sure it stays off the rail. Nice job there. He's back in the lead, 6 to 5. really good run by Jose. Comes up a little short on that 9 ball. David takes full advantage of that one, brings it back to a tie game. It's 6-6.
We're having problems.
Undercuts that one a bit. Is he gonna get lucky? 1 ball's trying to get him lucky. Sure does. That 9 ball and the 2 ball taking everything out of play. The 1 rail kick here, but he hits that one soft. Alright, so now that would be David's option. I'm sure he'll take a look at that and decide wants it. He can still see it, so he may elect to go ahead and shoot at this one. Considering he can see it, he's got plenty of places he can bury it, because he could try for it. I don't know that he will. Looks like he called it that way, but he can get that cue ball back behind that 2 and 6. Shoots that one a little bit to the left-hand side. Leaving Jose a little bit of an opening there, as Jose can just kind of bring it back towards him a couple rails and should be able to get back. Plays at 1 rail and a good shot. Gets it a little bit further down table. Nice job there. That was a good speed control. Comes up a touch high. We'll see if he goes down that bottom rail. Plenty of room to be able to get himself on that 4 ball. Pitches it a little strong. Gets a good bump off of it as it hits it straight towards the pocket. Center ball, that should go right back across table just like he wants. Did it come off the rail? Exactly where he's gotten. That just edges that pocket's happened a couple of times today, and this one's no different. This looks like David might be able to just play this 1 rail. Does he can come right back around. He'd be going for the jump cue though, so he might not like that 1 rail shot. Overhead real quick. That's a little tough to tell overhead because of the way that it kind of bends the edges of the table, but it looks like he could go a little bit of inside and catch that where he wants, and that's gone back for jump cue and the bridge. The bridge with the jump circle in it. Good job. Just needs to stay open and preferably not get on that top rail. A long straight shot. Still a good shot on that one. Mr. Mark Thomas, thank you for those stars coming in. Definitely appreciate that. And Johnny, I'd say that they're Johnny's asking if these two are A players. I'd probably put them as good B players. I know David actually prefers a little bit more one pocket than rotation games. plays both. Was shooting pretty decent, but they've had misses that were uncharacteristic to both of them. As the day's gone on. Nice little cut shot there from Jose. Goes back in the lead, 7-6. These two are definitely keeping it close. And Johnny, David is more from like the I'd say kind of the eastern side of Tampa. Jose is more over on the Pinellas side. We saw the one comment that he shoots a little bit out of sticks out there, but you can also see him at Strokers and a few other places. Travels around to a lot of good pool halls they have over there on the other side. And David Williams works a lot, does a lot of drag racing as well. So he's got a couple of hobbies, and the drag racing's been taking a little bit more of his time. Pretty badass little truck that he takes out there. We were just actually talking about that earlier, running in the sub 6 kind of area in our 8th mile tracks. I might challenge him on a pool game every once in a while, but I don't think my Toyota Tacoma is going to put up a whole lot of fighting what he's got going on over there. Get one pass with an 800 kit. Some of it involves pushing. Okay, so successful picking that one as it does stay locked up behind that 5 and 6 ball. Good Brian Ambrose sneaking in here. Thank you for those stars, sir. Oh, good hit on that one. Jose, he hit on the ball and could pick one of 2 pockets. It looks like he might go for the side pocket on this one. Let's go ahead and play a defense. Locks that one up really, really well. David's going to be kicking a few rails at this one. Could go 1 rail, but it just makes that 2 ball really small down there. Doesn't have a ton of options. Getting that close to the short rail is going to make this one a little bit tougher. Overswings it a little bit. Easy to do with the slightest amount of English when you're that close to the rail. He's got to look and decide how he feels about that 4 ball going into top corner pocket. Looks like he's going to go ahead and take care of some little bit of housework down here. So that 2-5 combo needs that 2 to be careful, and that was the danger there, being off just a little bit. That one a big swing. Come right back down, and not really leaving David too great of a shot, but again, David is a 1 pocket player, so it looks like he's going for the bridge, but it wouldn't have surprised me if he decided to go ahead and play that 1 rail. Still a long stretch down that table to get even to that cue ball. He decided to go ahead and call it back in the long bank. And try to get a little lucky. It's a whole lot of it. Mr. Berber, thank you very much for those stars coming in. Appreciate that. We're looking forward to the next time you come down here and join us. It's definitely a pleasure having you out here. Is that about a week or so ago? Something like that? I don't know. I've lost track of time now, but Definitely a sportsman and gentleman that came out here and joined us and got one hell of a couple of sets. They doing a great job out here. Get that 4 ball, give him all the running room he needs to go down and go to get that 6 ball back into the side pocket. Did a good job with that speed control on this table too, as he slow rolls that one in. A touch more angle than he wanted on the 7, but go ahead and take this one. Probably might go around a couple rails or just draw it off into the short rail. Shot. Self a very good opportunity to get both the 8 and 9 here. Good job there by Jose. Went up 2 points, 8-6. Good break by Jose on that one. I'm hitting the wrong button. The overhead view apparently. Gets back there nicely behind that 3 ball. I don't care what angle you're looking at. That was a good shot. Once again, Jose making sure that he maintains control of this table and doing a good job at it. He's kind of stuck in that position again where I'm going to take a swing at one. Got a touch more distance, but I'll be inject up over that 3 ball. Not going to be an easy shot. See what's going to be. It's probably the only way that he saw to be able to get around, trying to go around 3 to 4 rails on the back door to get up to it. Jose doesn't really have a super easy run out here. He's got a little position play he's got to work on, even going from the 2 to the 3. That's going to determine how difficult it is to get from there back to that 4. So you have to be a little careful about getting out of line. Little distance, but again, Jose's been shooting a pretty straight stick on this match and does a great job there. I don't have no idea what I'm talking about because he's running this perfectly. This is why I stay behind the glass right here, as Jose does. Beautiful job. Look, ma'am, if you're not going to talk, you can't laugh at me. Good shot there. Is this going to give him a great angle to get across table? Give him a shot for that 9 ball. Going to back that one up. Off the rail. Be too much trouble. I feel like sometimes I should say like the opposite of, the commentators curse and help them out by saying, I bet they jar this shot or something along that kind of line. So the other way kind of bites me in the ass too often. Nine to six. Jose's got 3 games to go. David's gonna have to find a stroke here or work on it for the second set. But you may not have seen the flyer or heard it whenever we first started off here. This is a race to 12, but they are doing a minimum of 2 sets. It ends up 1-1. So they'll make a decision there on whether or not they want to play a third one. Not get the roll that he wanted on that one. Does stay mostly behind that 9 ball. I think he's just gonna bend it around a little bit. It did not bend. But Jose has a good opportunity here as nothing is jammed up. It's to work on this side of the table for a bit and back down to the other side. The 1 rail, leave himself a shot on that 2. Roll there as well. You can probably go ahead and draw this one back to the rail where he's standing. Angle that he'll be able to use to get it back across table for that 5. He doesn't mind being straight in on it. Low rolls that one in. A little bit of work here, but this is about the last difficult one that he should have. Wanted to sit on the rail. Looks like he is okay to go to that top rail. Give him a nice little angle. Well done. 2 more games to go for Jose as he goes up 10 to 6. So a little bit of fun with the 3 ball. It is definitely in the way. We'll see if he goes ahead and hides this one down there below that 8 ball. Looks like it's going to get out in the open. Did do that. making a good shot there. As bounces back out just in a good line for that 4 ball. Five ball just sitting right there waiting. He really only has to get half table coming back out. Doesn't need to get down any closer to the 7 ball, and takes that one over a long way. Looking pretty good on this one. See if he goes ahead and goes a couple rails, or at least one rail to the bottom, back over for the 9. Ends the game back to Jose that Jose gave him earlier. That 9 ball in the corner. Jose goes onto the hill, 11-6. See where that cue ball goes. That was a little bit more control. He might have got a little bit the left hand side of it. Just about gets that 1 ball into the side pocket. David come back to the table with a long 1 ball shot. If he goes ahead and takes that one on, looks like it may pass. That 4 looks like it's sticking awful far out. Which this overhead. Take a look. So he may have a cut shot here. Does not look like it'll go into that corner. Beautiful job there on the cut. Mark Thomas. So what's in the middle? So that is, they are doing the 2 sets. So it's 300 per man per set. So I guess you could look at it a couple of different ways. Either 300 in the middle, 600 in the middle per set, or 1200 overall. All of which ends out with the same thing, and that's 300 per man per set, 2 sets. Five ball in the corner. I don't believe that's where he called that one. So this does go to option. Looks like Jose wants to go ahead and play the option. Probably could have given that one back and ended out about the same, but if he was able to get that 6 ball locked onto that rail, take a look real quick. I don't believe it is. No, it looks like it's off just a little bit. Looks like it's closer, but still off. Making sure he catches that one at an angle a little bit and making that a little bit tougher. Play off the rail. We might be here for a while. Show every once in a while just to see who's up to bat. And a little distance on this one as long as it avoids the corner and does not. There with 4 balls to go, 3 of them sitting up at the top. Whole lot of work to be done for Jose. Almost take a prediction here. Who's going to win the first set? Yeah, but if I say it out loud, then something gets messed up. It's all my fault. And these people know where I live. So we can't say too loud. Little lady over here still doesn't want to talk. All right, so that is the first set. We'll get that listed down here at the bottom. 2 of them will take a break real quick. Both of them are actually pretty fast on the break, not some of the 30-minute lunch times that 2 of our players have had in the past. So we'll be right back with you as quickly as we can. right, we're back. David says he's got this one. So instead of putting it at the bottom, because they got that first set, get to work over here, slacking off. Apparently, I'm thinking I'm still on vacation over here. I know who won what. So they keeping that stroke going so far. Look across the bottom does a great job of moving around that 9 ball. Got back a little further than he wanted to, but didn't like he was on the first set. Maybe he'll get this one as well. Rift outside, not a whole lot of work to do with that 7 ball sitting right by the side pocket. Up here, and that break did not affect Jose's game at all. 9 ball in the bottom left corner. Good job there by Jose. Goes ahead and gets first blood on the second set. David Jacobs is not believing the B-plus player, and the way he's shooting right now, I have to agree. Again, we've seen Jose come out here a few times, and he's never shot bad at all. I would never say that about what he's done in the past, but this is definitely showing that he has been putting in some time, as he's shooting better on this one than I think I've ever seen him shoot. So somebody's been putting in a little time behind the cue stick, and hats off to him. Pretty open break there. 6 and 7 got a little bit tied up over here on the right hand side. Looked like a combo, but you know how fun those can be. Needs to make sure that that shot on the 1 gets that cue ball down table. Looks like he may have gotten okay on that one. A little bit of a cut there. Just watch out for some traffic, but the 4 ball is pretty open. Out pretty nicely with where he left that 5 ball down there. But again, 6 and 7 could pose little problems. See how he decides to deal with that one. Probably want a little bit less angle on this. Tries to bump that 6 ball. A good attempt at it. Does not want that sitting on that top rail. Made that shot a little tougher, but he is definitely lining up for that 7 ball. Overcuts the 7 a little bit. Maybe he's going to give David an opportunity here. But that shot on the 8 ball just became a little bit smaller. You look at it from overhead, Looks like that 8 will actually go on the side off that 9 ball, so but once that slow down, good looking shot. That's not a little too much. Is it okay for him as they coming back to the table with long bank shot? Don't believe he'll try to cut it, but we'll find out here in just a second which direction he's going to go. That one way short. Leave that one. Very makeable spot for David. David's got a pretty good stroke, so I don't see him having too much trouble getting that back up about where it is or even further. Got about half a table to be able to work with there. He's coming up a good forward now. That's a dangerous way to play that one. And Izzy, David ended up getting the first one. Excuse me, Jose won the first one. And I believe it was 12-6.
Oh, yeah.
About it.
Yeah, because you first aim, and then you
My throat. Yeah, top English is actually.
Almost pockets that one ball. See by that one with the way, even though the cue ball came back a little bit on the fast side, leaving that one out in the open, getting that solid hit. Even though he missed side pocket with the one, he'll left himself a very good opportunity. On this table, everything just opens up very, very nicely. Bobbles that one just a bit. Other than avoiding 6 ball, doesn't have too much trouble here. Gets a hold of that one. I believe he's trying to get to the bottom side of it, but long way to travel. That 2 ball had a pocket in that corner. Offside on this one. Goes ahead and gives that one a stroke. Stays right in line with that 4 ball. Nudge on the 5. Still sitting pretty good. David's not, his stroke's not working for him. It usually does. Might be a little bit of frustration sitting in there. Bounce off the side and brings it out very nicely for that 6 ball. Once again, looking pretty good on that position play. Ooh. Unforced error on that one, but somehow or another leaves David a little bit jacked up over the 9 ball. About half of it anyway. Making a nice shot, but a little on the strong side. Up in a few bad spots that he could be on. Great shot there by David. Second look at little bit of top on that one. Let's make the two into the side. Definitely got penetration through the rack. Gives himself a shot on the one. A little bit longer going down table. Here cuts it. That leave gonna be pretty open for Jose. Jose, go ahead and probably just force this one forward a little bit and come back across for that four ball. Left himself a little long on the six, so he's gonna have to put a little bit more stroke on this one. Go ahead and draw this one back out towards the middle. Definitely gets the stroke on it. Bobbles the pocket. Leaves David a little bit tough, as now he's going to be faced with a bank shot. And we'll see if he decides to go ahead and play a defense. And the sounds of it on the break, David kind of wanted to let that stroke go a little bit. Arrow miss on that six ball. Nice little roll there is that six ball. He's mostly behind the nine. The side pocket. Open shot for Day. And the problem here is going to be is for David is that Jose's really doing a good job of kind of controlling this table. I mean, he's had a few missed shots here and there, but for the most part, he's making his shots or hiding it, and he's been doing a pretty good job at that. Had quite a few lockups as we've seen, making it very hard for David to be able to get back in stroke. He's that one a little bit short, or I guess a little long, depending on how you want to look at it. I'm sure he wanted to trail that one about a foot, 18 inches further, give himself a better chance at that nine ball. Decent cut shot here on the nine and drills it right in the corner like it had eyes. Good shots are really helping these guys out. Solid break. It's that cue ball back just a little bit too far and a little bit kind of that happy medium between a little bit more draw or a little bit less, just to get, you know, at least about a diamond or better out. About half diamond out right now. It looks like that's going to find its way into the corner and leave an option. David's going to go ahead and take that option himself. See that it's a little bit of a funny angle, so we'll see if David goes ahead and plays the two ball into the corner, kind of draws it over into that three ball. That's every bit of what he was attempting to do. Now he's going to leave Jose with a shot, pretty easy shot in that corner. Takes care of that Nine ball, he would have had to work around. Pulls that back up table and a good shot there. Great finish by Jose there. Really, really taking control of this one. Goes up 5-1. David's gonna have to find a pretty big stroke to deal with what's going on here. Which I will say, I've seen him before. He does have it in him, but it's still an uphill battle at this point. If he makes any adjustments to break and throw it back a pretty decent direction, but does pocket one ball. One ball is straight into the corner. Top shot. It looks like he'll be on that too. Ooh. Steers that one a little bit to the right. Be a potential 1-9 combo coming up here. David, you're down one set, now you're down 3 games. He may go for this one. Looks like that looked like he was lined up on the 1, but he may be changing his mind now. He did go ahead and try for that 9 ball. I can't say that I blame him too much for kind of swinging away at some of these. He wants to get that break back. Smooth little shot there. Keeps getting better. Leads himself very nicely on 5 ball. Plays that one around 3 rails. Comes out maybe a touch further than he wanted to, but still not a problem there. Is play that 1 rail. Pretty good. In between a stop shot and a little touch back towards him. Nice way to get from that 8 back over to that 9 ball. Beautiful job once again by Jose. Goes up 5-1. We're a little bit past the critical time for David, but see how the rest of this pans out. successfully pockets that one ball. Very good control on that one. He's got a little bit of a tester on the two. We'll see if he decides to kind of back cut that. We can look overhead and see that the cut is there, but he really has to let that cue ball go. So gotta definitely trust that stroke a bit if he wants to do it. So we'll see if he just like he's either gonna bank it or just trying to hide it. He did decide to, and that was just unlucky. That actually had nothing to do with the way that he shot it. But he actually shot it pretty good. But when you let that cue ball go, luck's not always going to be on your side. If it doesn't hit the one, it looked like he was going to be hitting really, really nice. But the end result is it was. So David gets a little bit of a table time here and just has to keep control of that cue ball. Everything's kind of sitting out in the open. Wanted that to bounce a little bit more, make the shot a little bit easier, but if he can actually go forward or backward on this one. Puts that once again about halfway between two perfect shots. Reels that one with no problem. 9 ball to take this to 5-2. So see if this helps out David get back in stroke. They gets that five ball over a little further than he wanted to, but still leaves a very long shot for David. Six ball is sitting a little tough. Gonna have to watch the speed. He's gonna want to work its way away from it. Good shot if it doesn't scratch. I think he's gonna hand, unfortunately, one more over. If anything's gonna break a spirit, that, that
like
might,
that.
yeah, that might take care of it there. Seems like as soon as he gets on a little bit of a roll, something bad happens.
Hard to get the roll back. They get up like a technical. Lower hitting it and blocking myself.
Well, that was just caught that one a little bit off. Might have actually hit it just below the ball. I know that seemed to go a little long, but that nine ball was an awful long distance away. Tries to stay on the table, finds its way off. So David's just gotta hunker down a little bit and be a little cautious on each of the shots. Seen a few kind of not go his way. We've got a lot of open space here. Just needs to stay in it. Leaves himself out there for the nine ball. A little bit of a cut, shouldn't be no problem. 6-3. Trying his best to get back in this one. David making a good hit on that one and stepped away for a second, but didn't happen to see the ending of the last game, which is a little disappointing for Jose, but keeps David in this match. See, we got this one at 6-4, and Jose played a good defense getting behind that 8 ball. David also making a good kick, but still leaving an open shot. So he's still doing his job and controlling this table. They just looking for a stop shot on this one. Forward, but not too much. Actually, he could even stop it where it is, but might take that one a touch forward. Give himself a good angle on that 8 to naturally come back up. Okay, until he's done. 9 ball in the corner. 7-4. As they still taking a fairly substantial lead on this one. One of the players stepped out run to the restroom real quick, and then we'll get this next one started. I'm not gonna worry about turning on the little quick break thing because well, it should be super quick, but back in just a moment. David getting some good rolls over here. And here I see your question about the Fargo rating, and you know what? I'm gonna look that up right now. 'Cause I am not sure. I know I looked it up one time before, but that was a while back, and he's played a lot of tournaments since then. Actually, I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. This is actually this is not correct. Oh, it's got a robustness of 0, so it's got a list as a 433. We all know that's not correct. But it's got a robustness of 0, so that was probably some tournament, kind of like myself, 'cause I think that's around the same Argo that I am, same robustness that I am, and it's because I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago I played in one weekend tournament, so but that one's not accurate. So I'd have to find out. Um, from him, because I thought that he had been playing in a few of um, the larger weekend tournaments, and maybe he just sticks a little bit more to the like some of the in-house tournaments as opposed to ones that actually use Fargo ratings. And so 670, that it does look like he's shooting that way tonight, and from what I understand, he's been shooting really good lately. Um, that would probably be a little on the high side normally, but if he keeps shooting the way that he is now, um, then I would agree. 670 would probably be pretty close to right. All right, so Chris White for that Scotch doubles tournament. By all means, feel free to get that over to me once you've got it, and we'll throw it on the live stream for those local players. And as we've told players before, if you've got people that watch that's in your area, wherever that respective area may be, if you've got a flyer for a tournament coming up, we got a lot of time in between breaks and um, whenever they're racking things like that. That we've got that we can fill up. So feel free to get some of those tournament flyers over to us, and we'll always throw those up here. and let everybody know that there's something going on. They may want to attend. David getting a good shot on that one ball, but did not the break that he needed to get onto that two. Good shot by Day on that one. So we were actually just sitting here kind of talking a little bit about the Fargo ratings. I know a lot of people don't necessarily agree with the Fargo ratings, and whenever it comes to handicapping players, it's a very difficult thing to do because of, well, needless to say, the games that can be played. One of the whole reasons for sort of Fargo coming about is that people will play in leagues, sandbag throughout different weeks just to make their handicaps a little bit lower. Fargo was the idea of being able to help with that because it's okay to do that in I shouldn't say it's okay to do it in league. It's done in leagues without too much harm. You just got to keep things. You got to keep your team well enough to be able to get to the finals, so that you can have the handicaps where you want them to be. Then you play better, just not good enough to get disqualified. There's a whole lot of games that get played there. Well, the idea whenever it came to right, the idea. I mean, we see a lot of people get disqualified that way. Whenever it comes to like the weekend tournaments, like here we have the Predator Pro-Am Tour. We've had the Crosby Tour, several different tournaments. They all report back to Fargo, which so does like some leagues like BCA, for example. So when people are playing in those kind of tournaments, they're much less likely to throw games, throw shots, do things to work with their handicap. So I think it's a little bit more fair, but there is no perfect system whenever it comes to handicapping. If there's a handicap, there's always a way to sort of get around it. So it kind of gives everybody a way to look and say, this is how even this Fargo rating is for two players, and there's this chart that you can go on and look and say, this is how me and you match up. Again, take it with a grain of salt. Take it with how well you know a player in an environment on a certain table, certain size table, 8-ball or 9-ball. There's a whole lot of variables, but I think it's a decent attempt to try to be able to rank players. Okay, that's my spiel on that. So now we can get back to the match. So nice little roll for David there as he sticks it behind that 4-ball. And Muhammad, I must be a little dyslexic because that looks like you said that you're a 712. So we can look up our ratings and play anytime. David leaves a open shot over here for Day, and is he going to get the roll out of it? It's a little past where he wants to be. nice little nudge that he wanted on that one, and wants it to get behind 9, and it definitely got right behind the edge of it. I believe he can still see it with the way he's queuing up. He may be changing how he's going to hit this one, but if he decides, he's tried to bend it around a couple of times. If he goes for that same thing here, decides to go ahead and jump that edge, like he might be getting that jump cue out on the top corner pocket. A really good try and really bad luck as that cue ball finds its way into side pocket. Alright, looks like Jose's setting himself up for one more game here as he's shooting pretty well. Ten to 5. Jose definitely within striking distance, only 2 games out. And Muhammad, I definitely agree. This is a little, definitely a little off. Anybody that knows David or see David shoot knows that this is not typically him. He is actually a pretty decent shot. Has been for a long time. Okay, lining himself up for break on the 16th rack. That one nicely in the center. Just pocket a couple balls and leaves himself a shot on the little bit of a cut shot, but makeable shot on the 1. If he gets that one, he should be on the 2 with no problem. I think he's going to go ahead and bank it instead of cutting it. Comes up a little short, ends up finding the cue ball into that pocket. Yeah, I have a hard time. I mean, even though the table's open, I almost have a hard time disagreeing with what he's doing here. Normally speaking, it looks, he's really just smacking this one around. We all know the smart thing there is to go ahead and play that one out, as everything was very open, especially even more so with ball in hand. Kerry Vetrono has joined us. Stop telling him he's a 483. I want him to play as a 712. You're ruining my spot. Overcuts that fly ball a bit. That was a really great shot by Jose there. Okay, did he? He definitely got behind that 7. Nice try by David on that one. now left a very open table where they could potentially get on the hill. All right, so little draw shot on this one, and I see Jose having any troubles. Muhammad, are you saying that carries an 812 or you just went up 100 points? I mean, we've been sitting here watching how to play pool for a few hours now, so I know I've learned a few things. Mentioned before that as long as I stay behind this class, I'm about a 740 back here. I don't miss very often.
Tudo no teu?
Solid break, a little off to the side. Not bad there, and does have an open shot. Did pocket a couple more. Break's been working fairly decent for him this evening. Wouldn't call it necessarily perfect. We've seen a couple go forward and a few get to find their way to the back rail. Back rail's not a bad spot whenever it comes to like 10 ball, for example, which is kind of funny. 9 ball, you have a tendency to want the cue ball to be a little bit more in the center. I'm sure that there's plenty of players that could argue that they are more than capable of getting the 1 ball and the cue ball to sort of separate on that back rail, much like we see in 10 ball. And kind of each their own on that one. David does have a shot up table and an angle to make sure that cue ball bounces out. Just a center ball, just kind of pop it up there. Overcuts it. Really been struggling on these. Be okay if it doesn't. He actually left it a little bit on the tough side, so that's makeable, but he's got to throw a lot of top on that to avoid the scratch. Let's go ahead and run that one around the table, but it looks like it's going to pop back out and leave David not only a shot on the one rail to get back on the 2. Plays that second rail. Comes back out nicely. Now, a little bit of a challenge with that 4 ball. Doesn't go down the corner, so he needs to get that cue ball down probably close to about where the 8 and 9 is. Forgets to make the shot. And with Jose being on the hill, you really can't miss anymore. And tries to bend that one around and makes a good hit on it, but does leave David with an open shot. Drills down with no problem at all. Go very nicely on 5 balls. So, Carrie, whenever it comes to skill level, if we're looking at something like, I don't even know, in all honesty, if, if Jose plays in, send that one up a little bit far. I don't know if Jose plays in like tap or APA. I think he plays Masters, which of course doesn't really contribute to a skill level on that one, which would be APA Masters. Uh, David, like most of the people that come out, are APA sevens. I believe in tap he would be a still an APA six, probably in both 8 and 9 ball, possibly higher. All right, so we got a match on that one. 12-5 for the second set. I don't know if they're going to play a third one. I think I see David breaking everything down. So,
Huh?
again, as always, thank you very much for joining
What
us.
bullshit?
Hope you enjoyed both of those sets. And I'm not sure if we have any matches between now and Friday. We still got one that's in the works. Or excuse me, not Friday. I believe that's going to be on Saturday. I still got one in the works for the weekend, regardless. We'll get a flyer out for that one as soon as everything kind of gets confirmed. Until then, if we don't talk to you between now and then, please, everyone, have a safe and very happy New Year. Want everybody to return because we need the viewers. And we will talk to everyone soon.